Welcome to the Community-Based Crime Reduction Performance Measures Training. Welcome to the Community-Based Crime Reduction Performance Measures Training. We appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedules to learn more about CBCR's performance measures and how to report them in the PMT system. Today's content will fall into two major categories. First, we will review the importance of performance measures and how you will report them in the Performance Measurement Tool, or PMT. The second part of today's training will focus on common reporting challenges. At the end of this training, you should walk away with a better understanding of why BJA requires you to report performance measures and how we use this information. During the training, you will get an in-depth review of CBCR's specific reporting and some issues we commonly see in reporting. This section of the training will provide an overview of performance measures and the reporting process. So, what exactly is a PMT? The Performance Measurement Tool is the online data collection tool for the Office of Justice Programs grant recipients. It is structured as an online questionnaire and is available year-round. The PMT contains lots of information and tools to assist you in your reporting. So let's take a look. This table outlines the types of data you'll be reporting each reporting period, when your reports are due in the PMT, and whether you also need to upload your reports to GMS. As you can see from the alternating values under the second column, you'll only report on the narrative questions in January, July, and during your last reporting period of grant activity, regardless of where that falls on the schedule. The PMT is only open for data entry during the month after the reporting period closes. The PMT is accessible year-round for you to review and edit your data, generate reports, and more, but you will need to contact the PMT Help Desk to help you unlock reports as needed. The first page of each performance measure questionnaire outlines additional resources that may be helpful as you report. It includes reminders about the program's goals and objectives and lists contact information for the PMT Help Desk and state policy advisors if you need to reach out with any questions. We'd like to know each program's goals and objectives as a reminder of why we are asking you to fill out this questionnaire each quarter. The measures are ultimately there to assess your progress towards the CBCR program's goal. For more information, please use the link on this slide to review specific CBCR reporting requirements or the contact information to reach out to the PMT Help Desk. We also have a reporting tip on this slide. Some grantees find it easier to track the required data outside of the PMT in smaller time increments, maybe by week or month, and then add it all together when it is time to report in the PMT to get their reporting period totals. We strongly encourage you to use whatever approach makes it easiest for you to report your totals each reporting period. This graphic introduces the variety of types of performance measures we use to track progress towards CBCR goals and identify areas for improvement. Inputs refer to program resources like grant funding, staff, and technology resources. Activities are the actions that convert inputs to outputs that eventually result in measurable progress towards the program's goals. These can include things like trainings, meetings, partnership development, data analysis, and strategic initiatives like hotspot policing, focus deterrence, and other crime prevention strategies. Outputs are the countable products or services that result from these actions. Research partnerships, for example, may result in the development of new program materials or assistance with key working group tasks like communicating program impact to external audiences. Outcomes speak to longer-term program goals like improving community safety and reducing crime. Performance measurement benefits both BJA and its grantees. This slide focuses on performance measure uses and advantages for BJA, which uses this information to identify areas of success and potential opportunities for improvement, to track grant progress towards program goals, understand how funds are distributed, and to comply with the Government Performance and Results Modernization Act. Grantees can use performance measures to accomplish many of the same goals, like identifying areas for improvement to focus internal efforts, proactively request assistance to address challenges, and develop evidence of program progress that can be used to enhance advocacy and sustainability. Here's a quick review to check what you've learned so far. Please take a minute to respond to these questions on the right side of your screen. Okay, the answer to number 1 is C, 30 days. And the answer to number 2 is D, all of the above. Now, we'd like to ask you 2 questions to better understand how your agency uses performance measures and to see whether you have any specific questions about performance measures. We ask these questions for your benefit as well as ours. After the training, we receive a copy of these questions, which then gives us insight into how you are using the measures, so we can take your answers and apply them to the work we are doing. Any questions you may have can be answered now, or we can follow up with you after. Your questions can also be turned into FAQs or user guides. Thank you to those who have already provided some feedback. You can continue to answer or ask questions in the chat box throughout the presentation, and we'll circle back and either respond to the questions directly or reach out after the presentation. Now, let's get into the functions of the performance measurement tool. To introduce this section, we'd like to share some information about how BJA identifies common challenges and seeks to improve data quality. BJA's Planning, Performance, and Impact team assesses data consistently and accuracy and reaches out to grantees with potential issues. Program grant managers also play a role in enhancing performance data quality through site visits, where they identify documentation to verify PMT data entries for major activities. Many of the questions in CBCR's performance measure questionnaire are related. During the data verification process, analysts examine related questions to ensure sites are reporting consistently. Here are 2 examples from CBCR's data analysis questions. If you report conducting data analysis, you should also report analyzing at least 1 data source in the next question. Similarly, if you tell us that you receive crime data from your law enforcement partner at least quarterly, which you'll indicate in questions 4 and 5, then you should also be reporting that in question 8. CBCR grantees should report either the planning or implementation section in the PMT, not both. This table helps you determine which section of the performance measures is most appropriate for your program. Unless your site action plan has been approved by BJA, you should be reporting in the planning section. Once your plan is removed, you should stop reporting in planning section and begin reporting in the implementation section. To wrap up, we'd like to quickly review common challenges with defining goals and objectives and offer a few tips. It is important to write well-defined goals and objectives to clarify your priorities and highlight criteria for success. The SMART mnemonic walks users through important dimensions of a good goal or objective. They should be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. We recommend that you reevaluate your goals twice a year to determine whether they should be updated and use data to drive this process. Last review. Please answer the final 2 polling questions to the right of your screen before we move on to the question and answer portion of this training. When you've entered your answers for questions 1 and 2, don't forget to hit submit. The answer to question 1 is B, assorted. The answer to question 2 is D, all of the above. Here's the BJA PMT Help Desk contact information. Our office hours are Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Time, except on U.S. federal holidays. We strive to return everybody's email and phone call within 24 hours, so please don't hesitate to leave a voicemail or email, even after business hours. We'll leave the webinar open for about 5 to 10 minutes so you can download any handouts attached or use the Q&A box if you have any questions. A recording of today's training and other user materials and resources will be posted online. On behalf of BJA and the PMT team, thank you for your time, dedication, and hard work. This concludes the recorded presentation. We will now open the line for questions and answers.